precious, so I am conscious that I really want to make it worth your while and that you have some good stuff to take away with you and have a go at. Now, this is a topic that I can honestly say I get asked about a lot. It's always something that crops up in conversation. It proves to be a real challenge for so many managers. And looking at how many of you are on the call today, you're probably having the same challenges. Unfortunately, though, it does come with the territory of being a manager. So although you might never enjoy or like having a conversation, you can certainly learn how to do it with confidence, that it does go without a hitch. And this is what we're going to be focusing on this afternoon. Now, although I do see some familiar names in front of me, there are a few that I don't recognise, so if it's all right with you, I just want to tell you a little bit more about what I do. My name is Barbara Nixon. I've been developing managers my whole career, which is probably about 16 years or so now, and it's something that I absolutely love doing. Shall we? Yeah, click on. Fantastic, thank you. I do it in a number of different ways. I run a training company called Aboutsynaptic Change, and we work with organisations to develop entire management teams and really work to embed that learning back into the workplace so that you can actually see the change that you need. As well as that, I also personally work with individuals through one-to-one coaching, through webinars such as this one. I do e-learning programs. Managers Mentor is very much designed around individuals who really want to take charge of their own development and learn what they want, when they want, and how they want to. So you might want to upskill yourself on certain management topics, achieve your own career goals, or move it on to the next level, or even to build confidence and get past some personal barriers to achieve more. This works for managers who might not have access to formal training through work, or who just want to learn in their own way and achieve their own goals in their own time. For more information on how we can work together or to check out my blog, head on over to www.barbaranixon.co.uk. I've also got an offer for you at the end of the webinar that you might be something that you want to be part of, but I'll come back to that later on. Now, for those of you that have worked with me before or heard some of my webinars right here, you'll know that my style is incredibly interactive. I like you to really explore the topic and get the most out of our time together. And also, it's a lot more fun when everyone really gets involved. Now, in this particular topic, I am going to be quite information heavy, but please do ask questions as we go along. I'll keep my eye on. If you've got any questions, then please do ask them. I'm going to keep one eye on the chat box. So if you've got anything, please do let me know as we go along. Excuse me. I am a massive believer in training that benefits you and that adds value. So everything that I do talk about does have a practical application, and it's really easy to have a go at. And there's a lot of things that you can actually practice just as you go along your everyday working life. There is absolutely no point in attending training with good intentions and then going back to how you've always been. You've given up your lunch hour potentially, so I really want to make it worthwhile. So all I'm asking is that you look for that one gem, so that one golden nugget of information that you can start to implement straight away. If you get more, fantastic, but for this afternoon, just aim for one and then go away and use it. Don't forget, I do love to hear how you're getting on, so if you've got feedback, please do let me know. Right, let's get back to what we're here to do. Managing a difficult conversation can be really tough for many managers. The good news is that you can get better at them. You might never like or enjoy doing them. In fact, most managers I know really don't. But given the time and the practice, you can do them with confidence and without feeling as nervous or worried about it. There are many occasions when you have to have a difficult conversation. It might be that you have to give someone negative feedback about their performance. It might be that they've done something wrong at work. It might be that you have to give someone bad news about their job. Perhaps they're being made redundant or being put at risk. It may be because of a disciplinary or a grievance or even a return to work interview. There are so many different scenarios where you might find that you have to have a difficult conversation. What we're not going to be looking at today is the actual process for handling these situations. So we're not going to be looking at the process of a disciplinary or a grievance or what to do in a redundancy situation. But we are going to be looking at the people skills behind these conversations and what we can do to make them run smoothly so that we can hold them with confidence. So before we go any further, let's have a think about why we dislike these conversations so much. So I'm going to give you some work to do now. If you can put on the chat box, what is it that you don't like about having a difficult conversation with someone? And I'll just give you a couple of minutes to do that. Thank you. No sound. I can hear people through. sorry, just we're trying to sort out the microphone as well. So you keep typing. The sound has gone off. Conflict. Sound's gone off. Okay, can you still hear me, Sally? It's just, probably because I wasn't talking. We were just trying to sort out the microphone problems. So I've got that you don't know how the other person will react. Absolutely. Having to defend your point of view. Potential for conflict. How feedback is received. Thanks, Natasha, for letting me know the sound's fine. Brilliant. Thank you for that. Perhaps making the other person feel uncomfortable. Yeah. Their reaction. Again, a lot of people have said the reaction, conflict, confrontation. You're going to be upset, emotional or aggressive. Their reaction when the person potentially might be a friend. Having to be negative. When you're normally a positive person. Creating an atmosphere. Patricia, can you hear me at all? No? Any difficult conversations? She can. Right, okay. Right, do you want to suggest that? We're just trying to have a workaround for those people that can't hear properly. So if you can just bear with us, I really do appreciate it. Liz is frantically typing in the number. If you can just dial in that number, if you can't hear anything, that would be great. So I'll just let Liz sort out the microphone. Yeah, the other things are coming through. So we've got defending arguments can be difficult if you're in a situation when you don't have all the details. Gossip, potentially, and consistency of approach. Yeah. Managing your own anxiety. Yeah, great one. Trying to depersonalise the connection. The problem, sorry. Keep losing sound connection. Laura, it might be better if you dial in, maybe. Putting forward a point of view that might not be agreed with. Yeah, it would be hard. Yeah, these are very similar to a lot of things that other managers have said to me in the past. So if we just go on one slide, so I'm just going to summarise. Things like getting it wrong, yeah, saying the wrong thing, getting into trouble by saying the wrong thing, managing other people's emotions. I think a few of you have actually said that. You don't know how people are going to react, if they're going to get emotional. And managing your own emotions. Yes, a few of you have also said that. Now, all of this does come with practice. Over time, you will be much more confident about delivering the conversation. Until that point, it is a good idea to get a lot of support from your HR department, especially if you find yourself in a situation where you're not feeling confident. Ask the question whether you're the right person to be having the conversation. Do you know enough about the company process or policies to be able to have the conversation with confidence? If not, by all means ask for support from your HR department until you do feel confident, because they won't want you to fail. It's also worth saying that unless you have a heart of stone, as mentioned earlier, you may never get over these feelings that we've been talking about. By the very nature of the topic, you're saying something to someone who might not actually want to hear it, and they might not receive it well. So are they going to get emotional? Are they going to start crying? If so, what do you do with them? Are they going to get angry and start shouting or storm out? Are they going to say something that you don't know the answer to? Or are you just afraid because we don't know how we're going to react? Will our voices come across as confident and timid? Will it start to shake? Will we be able to maintain eye contact when we're actually delivering bad news? Or will we really get frustrated with the other person and start to feel angry? Now, there are lots of different reasons for feeling afraid of having these conversations, but as this is your first barrier, it is a good idea to come to terms with it and jot it down in a notebook somewhere. It helps to acknowledge them so you can start to be more self-aware and tackle these barriers so you can prepare yourself properly. Whatever it is that you're afraid of, it's good to have a think about them, as long as you don't use it as an excuse to put off the conversation altogether. Which brings me on to tip 1, which is don't put off the meeting. Now, I do hear this time and time again from managers that I work with, and it's perfectly natural. When we dislike doing something, it is so easy to put it off. It's human nature. With difficult conversations, it's often the very worst thing that we can do. even if you think it's only a temporary measure whilst you build up the nerve to have the conversation. Yep, you might feel worried about it and really not want to confront the situation, but do arrange the meeting because it will make it clear in your own mind that the meeting is actually going to happen. You've also then made a commitment to the other person that the meeting is going to happen, and it gives you both time to prepare. So when you arrange the meeting, for actually depends on what the situation is and what the circumstances are, but do try and get it in the diary. My next question to you all, has anyone had any experience of putting off a conversation, and what happened when you did? I'll give you a couple of minutes just to... I'll keep talking so you know that the sound's not gone down. Yeah, it comes worse, you're delaying the inevitable, absolutely.